Everyone, welcome back to another Bitcoin chart planning update video. If you guys are new, welcome, and if you're not, you're probably noticing things are a little bit different. I got a new camera. We're up here now, a little bit better quality. You guys can see a little bit more. It doesn't feel as cramped. So let me know what you guys think. I'm probably going to move it around in future videos and test things out a little bit. But really, what we want to talk about today is Bitcoin is moving higher. Now, is Bitcoin going to continue higher? Is it going to fall? What's going to happen? Because we are all here to increase our wealth in trading, increase our income. This is not a game, right? A lot of people put serious money into this. A lot of people are putting, their time, their life, so much dedication in this. A lot of heartache, a lot of good times, a lot of bad times. I am going to make things very, very clear with everyone, and I'm going to make sure that this channel remains a place where you get non-biased, straightforward information, both good and bad, because I am tired. I'm tired of seeing people overhyping things just to get clicks. People saying things that make absolutely no sense. People that just shouldn't be on the internet. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm a little heated. It's just there's a lot of BS out there. So I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to do some live streams soon. I'm trying to do things so people have a very transparent place to just get information to help you, to help everyone better make decisions. It's a crazy world, and we need a proper we need good sources, right? Like good sources out there, and there's a few. Unfortunately, less than half, but there's a few channels, a few people out there that actually know what they're talking about and that are being non-biased and clear with all of you, because everyone's time is worth a lot. Everyone's time should not be wasted. So let's get started. Everything I'm going to say in this video is my own personal opinion. It is not financial advice. I need to get used to looking up in the camera a little bit now because things are a little different. I got an actual webcam, so hello. It's everything here is just my own personal opinion. It's not financial advice. So let's get started, right? So what do we have, right? We have it's currently almost midnight, September 17, so like in less than an hour it'll be, or September 21, in less than an hour it'll be September 22, which means we have just over, so we have like 9 days left in September. And we all know, so if you guys keep up with this chart, and there's a lot of YouTubers that talk about it, it's kind of well known in the internet. I think it's very helpful. And we have October coming up, right? Like 9 days, right? And October is usually a positive, very, very positive month for Bitcoin, right? And this is just a Bitcoin monthly like percentage gain simple chart, and we have all the years back here as well. But guys, we have a very, 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 according to history, positive month ahead of us. Now, it could be a red month because, there has been red months, but understanding that we still have a whole trading week. Like, we're just going to talk about, businesses. We have a whole trading week ahead of us. I think a little bit more too, actually. We have like Monday, I think is the last day of the month. Is it? Yeah, so we have 6 more business days left in September. So we could potentially see Bitcoin see a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of a correction. We can potentially see that. I'm trying to keep you guys very open to the fact that there could be a little bit of a sell-off happening to finish off September, as the interest rate cuts that happened last Wednesday on the 18th, as that kind of starts to settle. You have a lot of the hyped up, buyers starting to take profits, starting to set off a little bit. Maybe institutions are starting to, manage their positions a little bit as well. And we can see a little bit of a sell-off before, bam, we hit October and we start seeing these amazing gains up here that are expected. But to keep it realistic too, I'm gonna go over the two different scenarios that I personally see and how I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how I am going to be managing these positions, and how I plan to manage them depending on either or whatever happens, right? So I'm gonna get into that in a second here. So yeah, quite simply, we still have just over a week left of price action before we hit October. And of course, October is expected to be a positive month, not just because of what history says in the chart I just showed you, but what understanding that interest rates have been cut. There's a lot of bullishness in that. We are currently in an uptrend in Bitcoin, so October could finally right over here. October can finally bring us back up to all-time highs, where this orange yellowish line is up here. This is all-time highs for Bitcoin. So we can finally see that happen in October, as all these tailwinds of interest rate cuts, and potentially there being like another two, I think you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but another two interest rate cuts happening later this year. So it's exciting, guys. It's very, very exciting. There's a lot of bullishness here. Is very clear to me. It's very clear, and I said this in my my last video. Actually, last video was like a Mara update, but I did say I did go over Bitcoin a little bit, and I said that I personally believe this opportunity down here. We had 3 opportunities in this purple area down here that I've been following for quite some time now. This purple area I've been following for quite some time. You can look back a month or two. I'm gonna have this. You can look back. You can look back. I have this area down here. This we tested it 3 times. I don't think we're gonna test this again. There's too much good stuff happening where we were finally working our way up towards all-time highs. This is a part of the past. I feel like sub $55,000 levels are no longer ever going to be seen on Bitcoin again, in my personal opinion. But how am I? And I'm just going to say what I'm doing, because it's better for me to say what I'm doing than to tell you all these different, things, these possibilities, like these like 5 or 10 different possibilities for Bitcoin. Like that nonsense, right? There's 2 things I see, and I'm going to tell you how I'm personally managing them. So if you have been watching for a while, you know that I have a core Bitcoin position, and I do share that core Bitcoin position with you guys. I have a playlist called Bitcoin portfolio updates. I invested $80,000 into Bitcoin, and I keep track of it on a weekly basis for you guys as we continue through this bull cycle. So that's my core position for Bitcoin, and then I like to trade a little bit of fluctuations on a separate account. So what I see is that there's 2 things that can happen. So of course we are currently in an uptrend, right? So on the smaller picture, right, we believe that the 4th wave is in. I believe that we are no longer going to see this 4th wave, because it's just very unlikely for the prices to go below $50,000 again. It's just, man, that something crazy has happened in the world. Excuse me. Don't worry about this 3. We're leaving this. Excuse me. Once we start seeing break of structures, these previous swing highs starting to break, and we finally break all-time highs, I'll be able to give you guys a 3rd wave estimate, and then I'll be able to give you guys a 4th wave estimate, which will be somewhere below the 3rd wave, and then finally, where I can give you guys a little bit more of an accurate 5th wave. But as of right now, it's not going to change much. Even if I do change it, it's still going to be somewhere between 115,000 to 150,000 conservatively bull market top. At a minimum, we should top out in this area. At a minimum, I personally believe we're going to go much higher than 150,000, at a minimum like 180,000. But this is just a conservative, my bear case, like at a minimum between 115 and 150. So let me just jump into it, guys. I feel I'm over here just talking too much. So we're gonna jump on the 1 hour. There's 2 things that I see, right? So obviously we saw a lot of bullishness, a lot of price action going upwards, pushing higher, pushing closer towards this previous swing high right over here. So what does that mean, right? So if you guys understand triangle patterns, they're super simple. Let me go back to the 4 hour for this. We are in this big like triangle pattern for Bitcoin. We have support down here. We have resistance right here. They're measured in these white lines, or represented, I should say, not measured. So we are in a triangle pattern, which this could act as a resistance. So what I've done is, because I don't know. I'm like, okay, so are we gonna see resistance on this previous swing high right here, or are we gonna see resistance in the top triangle resistance line, right? So what I ended up doing is I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this overall move. So imagine the start of the second wave currently to what we have so far as the top of this bullish structure. So what I did was I am breaking this down as if it was so I'm gonna be very clear, right? As if this was a smaller 5-wave move up. So we have the first wave starts here. So we have a first wave going up, and then a second wave. The reason this is a second wave instead of this is because this is a bit more major. It's a bit more, how do you say? It's more defined, right? It's a bit more of a clear move. It's not too cramped. It's not too consolidated into each other, not too cramped. So it makes a little bit more sense to me. So we have a start here. So we have first, second, third wave. We could potentially be in that small correction, which I'm going to break down in a moment, which will be the fourth wave, and then a fifth wave up into this area, which would complete like a smaller first wave on an overall like larger fifth wave move, right? So hopefully that made sense, because I'm not going to repeat myself. So what I ended up doing was I just took a simple fib extension tool, which has 3 points. So I started, you can kind of see it too, the dots. So I had my first point here. I brought it up to so far what the first wave is, and then I brought it down. So it's right there towards the right above that 0.35, and I brought it down to the bottom of that swing low. And that created this area up here. So the reason this is noteworthy in my opinion is because this area actually, and I really like to focus on the 1.236, the 3A, and the 618. These are just levels I like to focus on. I never changed it. I like how they resemble previous support and resistances on previous trends, and it just works for me. And it overlaps this area right here. So I'm trying to decide, are we going to find resistance here or here? And then I realized, I'm like, well, if this is overlapping this area, so if these 3 indicators, so these 2 resistances and then the fib extension, they overlap this area right here. So I'm looking for resistance somewhere in this area. What does that mean, right? So we're still in a bullish structure, and we have October just around the corner, right? So understanding that there's major resistance in this area here, because the fib extension sort of represents a bridging, a connection between the 2 resistance lines. What I'm anticipating is, so if the price just continues to go higher, I'm not going to do anything. If the price continues to move higher from here, I am not doing anything. I'm just going to move this forward a little bit. I am not doing anything because I have that core position in the background. If the core position just keeps going up, I'm cool. If we reach this area and we break a little higher, I'm pretty much flat on that core position. I don't really care. I'm not doing anything until Bitcoin reaches like 100K, and I'll start slowly shaving. But guys, I'm not doing anything and the price goes up. I'm just chilling. I'm looking for the price to go up here so that I can start looking at potential short positions on a separate portfolio for small or like short-term trades, right? So if we go up here, cool. I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting it ride up. My core position is going to increase in value, and then that's when I'm looking to find a shorting opportunity, which I will document with you guys if that happens. So the second scenario is we do see a little bit of a retracement. So this last week of September could be a little bit red. It could be a little bit red. And if you guys know, I did sell out of my BITU, and I'm looking to re-enter BITU. So I sold out. I made like a little $1,400 profit, and I'm gonna put that $1,400 to the side. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to keep the 10K that I originally invested. That 10K I'm looking to slowly accumulate. So I personally believe that the more likely opportunity, instead of moving up higher, because we already are kind of somewhat overextended, we have two support areas overlapping. We have the white support right here, so we somewhere in this area, so between most likely the 0.35 and the 0.5 we'll find support, because there is some imbalance right here. So if I zoom in closer, so a little bit of imbalance right here, so we can potentially see this line right here around 61.5k act as a magnet. We can see the price come down, and then from there, that's when we can start seeing the price rally and finally reach this like major resistance area up here, above 65k. So somewhere between 65 and 70k is that resistance. And then so you can say like what, like $67,000 resistance if you want to be like somewhere in the middle. And then it's as simple as that. So we can potentially, if it does happen, I believe it's more likely we can see a little bit of a move down before we see a move higher, right? And that move down can last as simple as the next 5 business days, right? Because when the market is open, that's usually when Bitcoin is most influenced, and then shortly after market close as well, for the New York time, right? So what I personally am doing is that I have 10,000 that I want to put back into BITU. So what I'm going to do, and I'll document this, right? I'll post about it. I'll post it on my Discord. It's free. You guys can join. Every time I do a BITU buy or sell, I will be posting screenshots like I have been doing. I'm going to continue to do so in Discord, so you guys can see where I place my orders. Just for, just so you guys can check it out, because I like to share that. Right? That's the whole purpose. It's just to show you guys. So we have 5 days, those 5 trading days. I want to put $2,000. I want to average in $2,000 every single day for those 5 days. So Monday, 2,000, Tuesday, 2,000, all the way up to Friday. I'll have $10,000 invested towards the end of September, which is known as a bearish month, right? And what that means is that even if we do move higher, I don't anticipate it will. So I'm comfortable doing that. And of course, that is going to act as a supplemental to my Bitcoin position. If the price does move higher next week, so next trading week after tomorrow, Monday, after tomorrow, well, technically, by the time I upload this, it will be Sunday. So technically tomorrow. But if I see the price move higher, I will not continue to add into BITU. Instead, I'm going to start shaving out of a little bit that I do have in there. And then I'm going to just let it continue right out, and so I can start looking at short positions up here in this area if the price does go higher. But if the price does continue to consolidate or trickle down towards this white fib area down here, then that's where I'm looking to continue to add the $2,000 every single day until I have 10,000 invested. And then I'm just going to leave that position and ride it out entirely towards October. Now, there is something that's kind of making me second guess, like trying to short in this area, and I'll keep you guys updated on what my decisions are, because we still have a whole 9 days left to October. If October is known to be a bullish month, and let's say right at the end of September, just before October 1st, we are in this area up here, then it would be silly of me to short in such a historically bullish month, right? So I might not even do that, but that's the beauty of technology and the internet. I can tell you guys what my decisions are and what I believe I will be doing as we actually approach it. And when we do approach October, I'll be able to let you guys know right away what I am going to be doing exactly. But as of right now, if we do trickle higher, I'm looking to start shaving more of that position and not add, because there might be a potential resistance in this area right here. So I want to be very cautious. I don't care if I miss out on even more gains. I'm just trying to be cautious. Like, it's as simple as that. That's my plan. But if we do trickle down a little bit down here, consolidate right around that 0.35, or even find support at the 0.35, that's cool, because I'm going to continue averaging in $10,000 within the next business days, the next 5 business days, and then just let it. If I average in $10,000 into BITU while Bitcoin is trading below 64,000, I'm good. I'm going to leave that position sitting there for the entire length of October and just let it go and let it do its thing and just bring in whatever profit it wants to. So that's my plan, guys. It's as simple as that. That's what I'm doing. Hopefully this made sense. I hope you guys understand that just because interest rate cuts, and by the way, the green is a secondary support area in case for some reason the correction is more extended than anticipated, which is great because if it falls into this area within the next 5 business days, I'm just gonna be averaging in so much more into BITU at a really good price in my opinion before it pops up like crazy in October, and we finally start seeing all-time highs retested real soon. Because if we average even a minimum of like 10% in October, that's like just what is that? We'll be pretty much just under 70K, but most likely we're gonna see more than 10% if history does repeat itself, right? But we will see, and as time goes on within the next 9 days, I will keep you guys updated on what I am doing. Especially if you're on the Discord, you're gonna know what I'm doing a lot sooner than on YouTube. But it's as simple as that, guys. I told you guys the 2 views I have on this right now. My preferred view, the more likely one in my opinion. So we'll find out how that goes with when next week market opens happens. You guys can laugh at me or be like, dang, that was a good understanding. We see some weakness in this area, so we can potentially see that test down here where we can find a good opportunity to buy in or continue to add depending on what your position looks like personally, and then boom, break up higher and make some nice decent gains. Because I know BITU is ×2 leverage, so let's say we average in right here and the price of Bitcoin goes up to like 66, that's like 10% on BITU. That's good stuff. I'm not in a rush, because if I do average in down here, like I said, I'm going to hold on to it for the entire length of October at a minimum. I won't be like trying to get out of it soon or anything like that. But yeah, I hope this video made sense, guys. I hope you guys are just being cautious right now, because no matter how much bullishness there is in the markets, how much bullishness there is online, you guys need to look at the chart and determine yourself if you believe the price is overextended to the upside, what the potential short-term look is for the next 5 business days, and then of course remember, October is a great month, but we're not there, guys. There's still 9 months left. I hope you guys have a great day. I don't know if I'm gonna upload anything for Sunday, but if I do, cool. If not, I'll see you guys Monday. So yeah, take care, guys.